still don't like Peacemaker as a character for what he did to Rick Flag, even though this show is really good. Hit it! Peacemaker is a spin-off series that takes place the events after the Suicide Squad movie. It premiered on HBO Max on January 13, 2022 with 8 episodes. Almost every episode was written and directed by James Gunn. You may know his work from the Suicide Squad and the Guardians of the Galaxy movie franchise. James Gunn is also set to return to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is slated to be released on May 5th, 2023. The premise of the show is that Peacemaker has to join Argus once again to save the world by any means necessary. But does he want to? Let's find out as we get into the story of the first season of Peacemaker. Spoiler alert if you have not seen it yet. Come back later. This video will be here, I promise. Content warning, there will be a lot of profanity in today's video, so please be advised. The show begins as Chris Smith, aka Peacemaker, is discharged from the hospital and is free to go. So instead of just leaving, he does a bit with a custodian that he smoked weed with once. Son of a bitch, just leave. If it was my ass that was under Wallace's thumb, you think I'll be shooting shit with a guy I barely know, making up rumors that Aquaman fucks fish? I would have flew out that damn hospital, gown and all. And I'm the only one tired of seeing man ass in every movie or TV show. Or is it just me? Anyway, he gets away feeling that he's in the clear. One of the hospital employees that works for Argus informs him in the water on Peacemaker's whereabouts. We are introduced to Latoya Adebayo, an Argus agent and Amanda Waller's daughter, comes to town with her wife. Adebayo lies to her wife that she will just be pushing papers and that they only be out for a few days. Peacemaker makes it to his trailer and listens to several voicemails from another hero, Vigilante. He is then courted by Adebayo and other Argus agents. Clemens Mearns, the head of the team, John Ecornos, aka Diebeard, I will be calling him that for the rest of the video, for obvious reasons, and Amelia Harcourt. Diebeard and Harcourt were previously in the Suicide Squad movie. They were the ones that went against Wallace's orders and assisted Task Force X in taking down Starro. Anyway, Myrn recruits Peacemaker for a mission called Project Butterfly, and the details will be explained later. Peacemaker goes to his father's house, Augie Smith, aka the White Dragon, to retrieve another uniform, helmet, and his pet eagle, Eagly. Later that night, Peacemaker, fully uniformed, went to meet his new team at a restaurant and is instructed that he has to kill a state senator, Roland Goff. Peacemaker is then stared at a man that works at the restaurant. His name is Adrian Chase, and he is also known as Vigilante, quote-unquote Peacemaker's partner in crime fighting, and he gets excited that Peacemaker is back. Later, Peacemaker follows Harcourt at a bar and tries to have sex with her. She curses him out and leaves him with their drinks paid for. Peacemaker grabs a girl from that bar and, has some fun with her. Afterwards, Peacemaker plays the woman's vinyl player and sings along while using the woman's dildo as a microphone. God, the yeast, discharge, and other bodily fluid that has been on that thing. Anyway, as he's distracted, the woman attacks him, and for a while there, you should have seen that ass whooping that she was giving Peacemaker before he was able to kill her with his sonic boom helmet, causing an explosion. As the police arrives, Peacemaker gives the teen a call to help him escape. As he goes back to the girl's apartment to get his things, he finds a weird-looking alien artifact. The police see him and they chase him down. Peacemaker takes a couple of hostages and uses their apartment to escape as the police make it to the couple's apartment. As Peacemaker gets cornered, Harcourt saves him and he gets away, much to Adebayo's excitement. Before the others got back to the base, Diebeard manipulates Peacemaker's car registration from the explosion to his father's name, which makes Myrn angry but tells Diebeard not to tell Peacemaker. Myrn instructs Adebayo to bribe the couple that Peacemaker kidnapped, which didn't take much convincing and had Augie arrested. Vigilante tracks down Peacemaker and they both have fun with their weapons in the woods. Also, they have a threesome with either a neighbor or a hooker. I don't know, Peacemaker will fuck a grapefruit if it had a vagina, or maybe not. I honestly think he will fuck a grapefruit. Anyway, Augie is then arrested and sent to jail awaiting trial. But he doesn't have to worry about being ass raped due to having him fellow racist followers that knows that he's the White Dragon. Hell, he'll probably be the one doing the ass raping if you ask me. As the team gears up to go kill the senator, Myrn instructs that in order to be sure that all the butterflies are killed, Peacemaker is ordered to kill the entire family, which I don't know why they don't just tell Peacemaker on what the butterflies are, but okay. They are being protected by a 2'4" bodyguard, Judo Master. My late best friend would appreciate that joke on how short he was. God rest his soul. Later, they make it to Goff's house to confirm that they are butterflies. Vigilante shows up and is confirmed by Myrn that they are butterflies as the family tongues are sucking up a sludge-like substance. Peacemaker was ordered to take the shot, but he hesitates, and Vigilante takes over and kills the mother and the children. However, they are stopped by Judo Master and has captured Peacemaker and Vigilante. Adebayo saves Harcourt but also hesitates to kill the guard, and Harcourt kills the guard. Myrn, Harcourt, and Adebayo head into the senator's house to rescue Peacemaker and Vigilante. Meanwhile, Judo Master tries to get away, but Diebeard stops him and knocks him out with a crowbar. Goff tortures Vigilante while trying to get information out of Peacemaker. The others manage to use an adhesive bomb to get Peacemaker and Vigilante. Peacemaker makes it out of his restraints and kills the senator. However, Peacemaker and Vigilante discover that Project Butterfly are alien parasites, and it's possible there are butterflies all over the world. As the team heads back, they have captured Judo Master. Back at the base, Myrn questions Peacemaker on what his head is in the game due to him hesitating. Harcourt gets into Adebayo's ass about not killing the guard when she had the chance, questioning her loyalty. Vigilante drives Peacemaker back to Augie's house to collect the rest of the helmets with special abilities. As he leaves, he gets into an argument with one of his neighbors, another argument, and makes a pretty interesting point about Batman.
Batman doesn't kill people.
Because he's a pussy.
He's a dark creature of the night.
He's a jackass who wrestles with murderers dressed like clowns and throws them in prison so they can break out of prison and then murder more people. Riddle me this. How many people you think Batman's indirectly murdered by being too much of a candy ass not to kill these fools who clearly need to be smoked once and for all, you wrinkly, Sharpay-looking dementia-infested fuck?
He then finds out that Augie is in jail and he goes to see him, but Myrn advises against it. Peacemaker goes anyway and talks to Augie to tell him the truth about what's going on and asks for more time until the mission is over and he will turn himself in. But Augie tells Peacemaker that the first chance he gets, he's going to tell the truth and get out. Meanwhile, Adebayo manipulates Vigilante to go and kill Augie, so he gets himself arrested. Diebeard had Judo Master sedated but somehow has broken free and attempted to escape, but he gets into a one-sided fight with Peacemaker. Man, you should have seen that ass whooping that Judo Master was given, until Adebayo subsequently kills him before he could give information about the butterflies. Back in jail, Vigilante confronts Augie but couldn't kill him. You know, I admire Vigilante for throwing himself in jail to confront racist pricks, all for a friend, so kudos to him. Peacemaker makes it back home and revealed that he had taken the butterfly Goff captive. It's revealed while at home, Myrn is a butterfly himself. When Augie plans to get out of jail after running the fingerprints to prove that he didn't cause the explosion, he plans to kill Peacemaker. Well, he didn't need much deliberation now, did he? Peacemaker gets into Diebeard's ass for framing his father while doing an off-script bit. During the briefing, it is revealed that the butterflies take human hosts. It leads them to an old bowling factory to investigate. Peacemaker's new helmet has the ability of X-ray vision, which makes it easier to identify the butterflies, which he failed to mention to the team so they can keep it at a surprise and have the others get mad at him for no reason at all. That's a dick move. But it was funny. Wait, did I actually think that Peacemaker did something funny and I didn't condemn him for it? Meanwhile, Myrn contacts one of his friends to get Peacemaker from being arrested. Harcourt and Vigilante are then attacked from a huge silverback gorilla named Charlie, controlled by the butterflies, which in turn reveals that the butterflies can take over any life form. Oh, you should have seen that ass whooping that Charlie was giving the team until Diebeard kills Charlie with a chainsaw, saving the team. They all celebrate, as you do. Meanwhile, Augie is not getting out of jail, thanks to Myrn manipulation of the justice system. Myrn gets the team the night off for a job well done. Peacemaker asks Adebayo to come in for a drink, even though she thought Peacemaker wanted to fuck. Hell, if I was Peacemaker, I would have asked her to fuck as well. She bad as hell. Have you seen the actress that plays Adebayo's wedding pictures? Damn. Anyway, Adebayo was given the task by Waller and Myrn to plant a diary in Peacemaker's house. Adebayo heads back to base and puts on Peacemaker's X-ray vision helmet and finds out that Myrn is a butterfly. How convenient. Myrn chases Adebayo and he says he's not going to hurt her. Harcourt figured out a long time ago when Myrn took an explosion with little to no damage. Everyone pretty much knows instead of Peacemaker and the Vigilante. Myrn explains that the butterflies came from a dying planet and came to live amongst the humans. But Goff wants to take over Earth by taking control of high-powered officials, and their food source comes from a cow. Not a literal cow, but an alien that they get their food source from, and they milk it like a cow. Let's move on. So, thanks to two cops actually doing their job, Augie gets out of jail. And the first thing that he wants to do is to get a burger, fuck a hooker, and kill Peacemaker. The police get a warrant for Peacemaker's arrest and attempts to arrest Peacemaker and Vigilante. Peacemaker and Vigilante escape, but Goff had got out and taken over a police detective. She goes out to make a call to some friends. One of the cops that finds Peacemaker's diary and gives it to Murn's friend on the inside, so Peacemaker should be safe for now. Goff shows up with hordes of butterflies, takes over the entire police department, and they all walk out with ugly smiles on their faces. Alki gears up with his followers as he dons his white dragon costume. The butterflies then frame Peacemaker, making him public enemy number 1. Alki manages to track Peacemaker's helmet via GPS. Meanwhile, Adebayo wanted to leave, but Hardcore confronts Adebayo about the diary and figures out that Adebayo is Wallace's daughter. We catch up with Judo Master. Damn. I literally forgot that he was on the show. Anyway, we catch up with Judo Master as he steals a car from 2 assholes. Peacemakers, Diebeard, and Vigilante decide to go out guns blazing and take the fight to the butterflies, but is sidetracked by Augie and his clan. Man, I thought I would never say that in a video. Anyway, Murn warns Hardcore and Adebayo to leave because their location had been compromised, and he sacrificed himself as Goss kills him. Judo Master attacks Hardcore and Adebayo despite that ass whooping that he was giving him. Adebayo manages to knock him out via taser. Back on the road, the White Dragon clan catches up to Peacemaker and his team. Augie shows up and really injures Eagly and pins Peacemaker down. Vigilante short circuits Augie's suit that gave Peacemaker the upper hand and beats the shit out of Augie. Peacemaker pulls out a gun and hesitates to shoot Augie. Augie then taunts Peacemaker. Of course, why not taunt the mentally unstable kid that just said that he was gonna fucking kill you? Which he does, right in the goddamn head. Peacemaker goes to the veterinary hospital for Eagly, and Vigilante holds the veterinarians hostage. Well, glad that killed my dream of being any kind of doctor. What ignited that dream was when I was watching Scrubs growing up. I thought being a doctor would have been fun, but not now. Imagine being held at gunpoint, trying to administer aid. One wrong move and BAM! Shot in the head. I will be missed. Anyway, Eagly is going to be okay and hugs Peacemaker, much to Adebayo's surprise. Without Murn, Hardcore is up to lead the team. They know that Goff and the other butterflies plan to teleport the cow across the country and will be forever lost. So now is the time to make their stand. We see the first look at the cow, and my god, that is the ugliest piece of shit. Anyway, now we are in the season finale. As the group are heading out to destroy the cow, Adebayo tries to apologize to Peacemaker, but per usual, he doesn't want to hear it, and he does by doing a fart joke. As they make it to their destination, they come up with a plan to stop the cow by using all the remaining Peacemaker helmets. However, as any Peacemaker episode goes, and a wild hijinks to screw up the plan, the helmet goes missing, so they all split up to find it. Peacemaker managed to find the last helmet by seeing a hallucination of his father. They disguise Diebeard as one of the butterfly guards to plant the helmet so they can activate the sonic boom ability. Diebeard plants it but is caught by the butterflies. Adebayo acts the sonic boom, killing most of the butterflies. Peacemaker tells Adebayo to stay behind as himself, Vigilante, Hardcore gun down the butterflies that weren't ticket bound by the sonic boom. As Peacemaker makes it inside to kill the cow, the rest of the team were mortally wounded. Adebayo guns her way through to help them, even by saving Hardcore from being taken over by the butterfly. As Peacemaker makes it down to the cow, he is confronted by Goff. However, Goff doesn't want to fight, and they tell Peacemaker why they came to Earth in the first place. They said Earth is on track of what happened to their planet and ask Peacemaker to help them, but he declines and activates the human torpedo helmet that Adebayo was wearing and kills the cow. Peacemaker then kills Goff's host. Peacemaker and Adebayo makes it out alive with the rest of the team. The Justice League arrives, and Peacemaker couldn't be more disappointed and tells Aquaman to fuck a fish. Aquaman is tired of the rumors, but the Flash alas said that it's not a rumor, as Aquaman curses him out. At the hospital, they manage to get Hardcore and Vigilante medical attention, despite Vigilante's protests. Peacemaker forgives Adebayo, and she makes it up to him by adding a Metal Waller and Task Force X to the world. As Peacemaker visits Hardcore, and it has been days since their encounter with the butterflies, she shows her appreciation by reaching out for Peacemaker's hand, signifying that she has feelings for him. The season ends with a montage of the team moving on with their lives, with Diebeard going back to Belle Reve, Adebayo reuniting with her wife, Vigilante fleeing the hospital to do more childish shit with Peacemaker, Hardcore going to physical therapy, and as Peacemaker enjoys his freedom, he still feeds Goff, depicting that they are friends, as he sits on the porch and sees the hallucination of his father, Augie. America should agree with me with taking the least likable character from the Suicide Squad, giving him his own TV show. And it was surprisingly good. Being a big budget TV show of the DCEU with only 8 episodes. Well, before the finale aired, Peacemaker was already renewed for another season. My jaw fucking dropped when I found out. How does this fucked up individual get a TV show, let alone a continuation? I still don't like Peacemaker. The character anyway. Even though it was fun from start to finish to see the show, it seems like the new DC is taking a certain liberty with a character, making him more empathetic and likable. Now, don't get me wrong. He was still fucked up for killing Rick Flag. Now, surprisingly, I don't mind that he kills people, well, bad people that is, because the superhero code is bullshit, and it will not work in the real world. If I could be blatantly honest, I would have little to none of a rose gallery. If there was a superhero like Doll Maker, kidnapping children and mutilating their bodies, as a parent myself, if I was a superhero, I would not hesitate to put a bullet in the Doll Maker's head and not think twice about it. To take it further, if a good number of people tried to go off on me and cancel me saying some bullshit like, oh, despite how he hurt those poor children, he still deserved to be tried and convicted by the justice system. What gives you the right to decide who lives and who dies? Basically making excuses of why heroes won't do what needs to be done. I will absolutely put a bullet in them as well, because that tells me that you have potential to be a doll maker, or worse. Now, Peacemaker did have a complicated past, being raised and trained by the racist supervillain, the White Dragon, aka his father, and losing his brother in a sparring match. For years, Peacemaker blamed himself for his brother's death, but it turns out that it was his father that did it. After his encounter with Bloodsport and being called a joke by Rick Flag, he must really found out that killing for the sake of peace isn't the same anymore, and not as fun as it used to be. But when he faces a threat that can cause the end of the world, he had to answer the call no matter what. It is also revealed that he is bisexual, which explains why Augie hated Peacemaker more, to be honest. Now, he does have a code of honor and goes to save his friends when they are needed, but he doesn't like to be crossed as well. That's why he had a little falling out with Adebayo for a while until the end of the season, and he ended up naming her his best friend, just as long as she don't tell Vigilante that. Do I still like Peacemaker? No, I don't. His character will have to develop more once the show's second season airs, but my mind about him will probably change slightly, but hey, who knows? Augie is the architect of being a racist genocidal maniac that became the supervillain known as the White Dragon. He made a reputation for himself and tried to put his beliefs on Peacemaker and his deceased son Keith, which Augie favored over Peacemaker. He also hosted cockfights, no pun intended, that puts children within Augie's white supremacist group, the Aryan Empire, against each other. That was the day that Keith died, by forcing Peacemaker to deal a fatal blow to Keith, causing a seizure. I had to go back on the episode again to find out how did Augie kill Keith. Then when I couldn't find it, I had to read up on it online to find out. So if you didn't know, now you know. Augie's comic book origins differ from the actual show. White Dragon is a legacy name used by supervillains that he has ties to white supremacy. Daniel Buchanan was the original comic book White Dragon with the power of pyrokinesis and flight when on fire. He uses the suit used for the TV show as a way to focus his powers. There are others that took on the mantle, but Daniel was the one that stood out for me. Even though Augie met his end by Peacemaker, his influence and spirit haunts Peacemaker to this very day. Hardcore is the kind of woman that most men like these days. Strong, can hold her own in the fight, cuss like a sailor, you name it. Is there anything that this woman can't do? Well, except try not to look sexy, even though she sleeps comfortably in black lingerie. God damn. She is often paranoid that Waller is fucking with them since she was part of the mutiny of Waller back in the Suicide Squad movie. At first, she didn't like none of her teammates at first until over time she grew close to them and called them her friends. She even developed a physical attraction to Peacemaker. Her character truly developed, in my opinion, when she took on the leadership of the team when Myrn was killed. She really did a good job on leading them. I'm glad the role didn't fall upon Peacemaker. It would have just been a cliche. Adebayo is Amanda Waller's daughter, and people wonder why she had a different last name. No big mystery there. She just took her wife's last name. She is a happy-go person and a little too enthusiastic, but her heart's in the right place. She is very skilled in marksmanship, surprisingly. She really didn't want to get pulled into Argus work, but she had to because herself and her wife had financial problems. Her wife said it was okay to quit so that she would have had asked her sister for a little money. Great. Just drag a person that's not financially obligated to you into this. Anyway, her inner water came out when she manipulated Vigilante into killing Augie while in jail. Then she followed up on orders to throw Peacemaker under the bus once the mission was over by planting that diary. Hardcore and Peacemaker were pretty hard on her when things came out by the end. She risked her life to stop Golf and the butterflies. She then became Peacemaker's BFF after Eagly, of course. Diebeard is the tech guy of the team. He is a genius, and it was displayed when he switches out Peacemaker's fingerprints and Augie's on such short notice. Other than him lying about his beard being dyed, he can trade insults with a room full of people that can kill him in an instant. So I commend him for that. Diebeard was the only guy on the show I was like, damn, you're not dead yet? But I really did like him though. Kind of remind him of me, without the dye and the beard. Mern, aka Ick Gnome Lock, was a butterfly mercenary that took a human vessel. The actual Mern that he took over was a horrible person, so I guess Ick decided that the world would be better off without this horrible person. He was an effective leader and hid his identity for a while until it was discovered by the team. However, it didn't stop him from sacrificing himself to save Earth. Now here we are with the best character of the show, Adrian Chase, aka Vigilante. I know he's kind of reminds me of Deadpool a little bit, but it doesn't bother me. What we know about Vigilante was that at a young age, his father came out as gay and left him and his mother. He is kind of sadistic and killed without remorse, but he is loyal to the team. I think he's bisexual too, judging by the three-way he had with Peacemaker and some hooker. Yes, in my opinion, that if you have a three-way with a girl and another guy, you have bisexual tendencies. That's right, I said it. Not that I have a problem with it, but that's just my opinion. I wonder where in the DCEU on where he received his training from. There's only so much you can self-teach, but he's pretty strong for a little guy. I'm going to list his feats here that I found on Wikipedia, so feel free to pause to read. His identity, Adrian Chase, sounded familiar to me when he was first introduced. There's another TV counterpart completely different from this one. On season 5 of Arrow, this version of Adrian Chase was the main villain of that season, Prometheus, that wanted revenge against Oliver. But that's videos for another day. I'm not going to get into the villains because if you've seen one alien invasion, you've seen them all, but conveniently taken down by primitive weapons. The theme song, however, was one of the best I've seen. It just gives people the reason to get up and dance. Like my 2-year-old son, for example. I got a small question though. Do you think this goes on in Peacemaker's brain in every episode? Just a thought. I like the bits during each episode, but sometimes it takes too long for my taste. Just get on with the episode. I like how the Justice League appeared as a surprise cameo once the fighting was over. Since there won't be any Justice League movies coming in the near future, there should be no problem in featuring 1 or 2 members showing up late every time or giving a bullshit reason of why they can't show up. Questions arise for next season. Will Edobardo suffer consequences on outing Argus? How will Peacemaker deal with his PTSD and having Golf as a new pet? Will Peacemaker get a checkup from fucking that butterfly and that hooker? Will Hardcore explore her feelings for Peacemaker? Will Diebeard just dye of his natural hair instead of dyeing it halfway? What kind of threat will the team face? I guess we have to wait until 2024 or 2025. That's all for today. If there's a TV show, video game, anime, special video idea, movie, or comic book you want me to check out, let me know in the comments. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all next time.